Most fiction never gets read. Not because it's bad, but because the writer didn't know how to position it to sell. If you want people to actually buy your book and finish it, you need more than just a good idea. You need a strategy. Today, I'm going to walk you through a proven formula for writing fiction that sells based on what we've taught hundreds of successful authors inside the fundamentals of fiction. Why does this matter? The reason this matters is that there's a huge gap between writing something for yourself that you just enjoy doing, that just makes you feel good, and writing something that connects with a real person. When we say fiction that sells, and we're not talking about like a massive commercial success. I mean, that might come from this, but that's not what we're talking about, fiction that sells. We're talking about fiction that resonates. The readers buy, they finish it, they actually finish all the way through, and then they recommend it to others and wait for the next release. So today, I'm going to break down the 5-part formula behind stories that do exactly that. Let's dive in. First, know your reader and genre tropes. First up, you need to know who you're writing for, and that means understanding your ideal reader and the tropes they expect. For example, in romance, readers expect emotional tension, a will they, won't they arc, and a satisfying resolution, typically a happily ever after. In fantasy, they want immersive world building and a clear good versus evil arc. Now, if you write something that ignores these expectations, even if technically it's good and it was really fun for you, it won't sell. So a quick exercise for you, go to Amazon, search for your genre, and study the top 10 books. What do the covers look like? What are the tropes and the blurbs? Your job isn't to copy, absolutely not. It's to understand the promise that your genre is making to readers and make sure the story delivers it. 2, use the 5 milestone framework. Next up is really structure. Readers don't want to be confused or bored. They want momentum. They want to feel like things are happening. And the 5 milestone structure helps you create that. So here's the framework. There's a setup. And this is where you introduce the character and their world. Then there's an inciting incident. So something disrupts this world and forces change. And then there's the first major conflict. Stakes are rising. The protagonist must make a tough choice. And then there's a second major conflict. Things get even worse. And often this is the low point. This is the winter of the story. Then there's the climax and the resolution. The main problem is confronted and resolved. Think of your story like a bridge. These milestones are your support beams. Without them, the whole thing collapses. Now, you don't have to be formulaic, but you do need structure. It's what keeps readers turning pages. 3, make sure that you have characters that the readers care about. Otherwise, your story won't sell, won't engage the person. If your plot is the engine, your characters are the heart. A sellable story has characters that are relatable, they're flawed, and they're capable of growth. So give your protagonist something that they want, an external goal, and something they need, internal growth. An example for this. In a thriller, the external goal might be stopping a killer, but internally, the hero needs to overcome guilt or fear or addiction. And the emotional layers are what makes readers care. And don't forget your antagonist. If the villain is strong, your story tension is stronger. Now here's a great tip. Use your character's flaw to create obstacles in the plot. That's how the story and the character arc intertwine. 4, write with marketing in mind. You're thinking, hey, I want to create something, but write with marketing. How can you get this out there? So let's talk about positioning, because your book starts selling before anyone reads a word. Your title, your cover, your blurb, and your first page all work together to signal the genre and the hook interest. So if you're writing a cozy mystery and your cover looks like a dark thriller, you'll lose readers before they even give you a chance. So how do you fix this? Study the top books in your genre and model what works. What words are in their titles? What emotions are their covers showing? How do they start their blurbs? I know we're all creatives here. This isn't selling out. It's learning to speak the reader's language. Remember, readers don't buy the best book. They buy the book that looks like it's the best fit for them. 5, write to a specific reader avatar. Now, here's a trick most new authors miss. Write for one reader. When I first heard about this, when I started writing, my book coach told me to do this, and I thought, no way, that's ridiculous. But I did it, and it's really worked. I wrote for one specific person. I want you to think about someone specific, their age, their favorite genre, what they're hoping to escape from, or what they're hoping to live for. If you write for everyone, you write for no one. But if you write for one person, your story will feel so personal. For example, if you're writing a young adult dystopian book, your avatar might be a 16-year-old girl who wants escape, empowerment, and a hint of romance. And you've named her, you've thought of her reading your book. Now that's going to change how you write the dialogue, the pacing, the theme. Every decision from your opening line to your ending should be filtered through the lens of this avatar. This is how you make your story feel like it was written just for them. That's how books sell. That's how they engage and capture. So let's go back and just recap. Now, I get this. We covered a lot. And some of you are like, oh my gosh, I need to redo everything that I've ever done here. And maybe, or maybe you're just going back through and just adding in, and maybe you already have a lot of this. But here's some of the things that we covered. We want you to know your reader. You want to give your reader what they want. Like they're coming into your genre. You want to use that genre and what's in there. You want to use a proven structure. You want to build some characters that are emotionally and connecting to the other people who are reading the book. You want to make sure that your book says it's the type of genre that people are expecting. And you want to write for one person, not just everybody. When you do this, you're not just writing a story, but you're building a book that sells itself. Hey, if this was helpful to you and you're working on something, I'd love for you to drop a comment just down below, subscribe, follow, so that you get more of this content. And if you're really interested in this, don't just go back and rewatch it, but check out Fundamentals of Fiction by our author and one of the most incredible coaches on authoring fiction, R.E. Vance. That book, Fundamentals of Fiction, lays out everything step by step and will help you really write a story that you're proud of and that engages the readers.